Now, in Lebanon, Israel's fragile ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah is on a knife edge. Both sides had agreed to withdraw their forces from southern Lebanon by Monday, but there are fears that deadline won't be met. The country is still reeling from last year's intense fighting, including one Israeli strike that destroyed an apartment block and killed 73 people. Israel says the building was a terrorist command centre, but a BBC Eye investigation has found most of the victims were civilians. Noel Al-Maghafi investigates.
This is the site of Lebanon's deadliest attack. An Israeli airstrike destroyed a residential building in the village of Ain El Delb in southern Lebanon. Once home to more than 100 people, all that remains here are memories of the lives that were lost. It was the 29th of September. Hisham al-Baba went to the building to visit his sister, Denise.
كنت محضر فطور إلى آخره. طفت الكهرباء أول شيء وطلع انفجار كتير كبير.
Shortly after, 4 more Israeli missiles headed towards the building. Causing the entire apartment block to collapse. Trapping dozens of families under the rubble.
أنا تفكيره كله كان بأختي. سمع صوت بعيد وبعده عايش وهذا الطفل وقيم هالطفل يعني يا باطل.
This video shows the moment that Hisham al-Baba was pulled from the rubble 7 hours later, only to find out he'd lost his sister Denise, her husband and their 2 children. In total, 73 people were killed. Ain El Delb is a quiet residential neighbourhood. Everyone I've spoken to felt safe here. They even invited family members to seek refuge here after fighting escalated in the south. They've also told me that they've never witnessed any Hezbollah military activity. So why was this building targeted? The Israeli army, the IDF, told us it had eliminated a Hezbollah commander and that the building was being used as a terrorist command centre, but didn't provide any evidence to support this. We investigated their claim and found evidence that 6 of those killed were connected with Hezbollah's military wing, but none were commanders. We sent the IDF their names. It didn't tell us if they were the targets of the strike, but said that the overwhelming majority of those killed were confirmed to be terror operatives. But our investigation found that at least 60 people killed were civilians. 23 of them were children. And we found that this pattern of striking entire buildings, leading to high civilian casualties, has been a feature of Israel's war with Hezbollah. We examined 10 Israeli strikes across Lebanon. They killed more than 200 people. The IDF told us these strikes hit terror infrastructure, command and control centers, and Hezbollah operatives. In one strike, it said it hit a building where a Hezbollah terrorist was hiding. At least 28 people were killed in that attack. But the attack in Ain El Delb remains the most deadly. For now, a fragile ceasefire has held. But no one knows how long this relative peace will last. Noel Al-Maghafi, BBC News, Southern Lebanon.
Well, Noel is with me now here in the studio. And Noel, just tell us why you investigated that particular building.
Well, Gita, when we first got to Lebanon, a lot of the people we spoke to told us about this building and the fact that 73 people were killed in one residential building. We'd also seen other residential buildings, coming down in those few weeks. And so we decided to delve into this. At the time, we'd heard from the IDF that they say this is a Hezbollah command center, that the head of the Hezbollah Sidon compound was killed. And so we felt like it was really important to take time to do a forensic investigation into exactly who was in the building. You know, we went through health ministry records, we went through social media, funeral posts, spoke to eyewitnesses to get an idea of who exactly was in the building at the time and why it may have been attacked.
Now, we are expecting this pullback by Monday. What are you hearing on the latest for that?
I mean, we're hoping that this pullback will happen because you can see what's at stake here if the ceasefire collapses and fighting resumes. What we've heard so far is that Israel's Washington ambassador is in conversations with the Trump administration. He's asking for an extension. They don't want to withdraw Israeli troops from Lebanon. And Hezbollah is threatening that if troops don't withdraw by Monday, that, there will be consequences, although it's very hard to see what those consequences will be considering how much they've been weakened in the last couple of months.
And just finally, I mean, obviously Lebanon has been politically in a very, very fragile state for a long time. What was your sense after this trip, talking to people after this latest incredibly difficult period?
I mean, what's really devastating about Lebanon is that this isn't the first confrontation between Israel and Hezbollah. It's one of many. And what it felt like was that, yes, Hezbollah has been weakened now, but it hasn't been, demolished altogether. And it seems like this isn't the last confrontation we'll see between them in the coming years. So it's a very sad situation.
Noel Al-Mughafri, thank you very much indeed for coming in.